We're at Cameron Indoor Stadium, where 16th ranked Maryland will take on number 7 Duke. The Terps have lost 5 of their last 8 games, while Duke has won 7 straight in the ACC, but is coming off a tough loss at UCLA. With only 4 days left in the regular season, Duke has a 1-game lead over Wake Forest in the loss column, with Maryland and North Carolina another game back with 5 ACC losses. How quickly things have turned in just a month, when Wake, Clemson, and Maryland were in control, and before Duke and North Carolina went on these exceptional runs. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale. It's great to have you with us. One of the best things about Maryland's outstanding season is that Keith Booth has been able to play in the spotlight this year. All his career before this, he had played in someone else's shadow.
Mike, he's been sensational all year long, averaging 19 points a game. Certainly going to be an all-ACC selection. He's been brilliant. He's a member now in a magnificent 7. I mean, when you're talking about guys that have been able to average double figures 4 consecutive years, over 200 rebounds the last 3 years, he has been a dynamite interior player, and he's going to have to play big here today to stop Duke in quest of that ACC regular season title.
Early in the year, it looked like Duke was out of sync, but things have changed as Mike Krzyzewski went to that smaller lineup.
Well, versatility, multi-dimensional, shooting the 3. Ricky, when you talk Mr. Price, he's been sensational off the bench, and they've gotten Jeff Capel to play brilliantly. And then Wojciechowski's been their MVP, the little guy, the defensive dynamo who can really pass the basketball. I'll tell you one thing, they also got Trajan Langdon, had a bad game against UCLA, but this guy can flat out shoot the rock. Hey, Mike, they're worried about winning the ACC title. All they got to do, beat Maryland today, they beat North Carolina Sunday, and it's over, baby. 4 in the 90s.
That's all. That's all they have to do. We'll have the lineups for you, but first, back to the studio and check in with Chris Fowler. Chris.
Mike and Dick, thank you. All the emotion of senior night, Digger. 7 straight ACC wins. What does Maryland have to do to beat Duke?
Well, Maryland, of course, right now, Dick's right about one guy, Keith Booth. But Saturday against North Carolina, Booth went 1 for 6 in the first half, 3 personal fouls, a lot of time on the bench. Maryland was down 11 against Carolina. A weakness of Duke also you can exploit. UCLA did it. Points in the paint, offensive rebounding. Maryland undefeated when they can out-rebound their opponent. Game number 2 tonight is very important for Marquette. They've won 3 in a row. Last year they beat Cincy late to perhaps secure a bid. They may need this. Mike Dean approaching it like it is a must-win tournament game for their at-large chances. But up next, back to senior night at Cameron. Keith Booth, can he stay out of foul trouble? We'll see at halftime.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Coors Original, pure and simple, the last real beer, and by the car that makes waves, the new Eclipse from Mitsubishi, built for living.
Welcome back to Cameron Indoor Stadium, where it is senior night for the Blue Devils. Let's take a look at the McDonald's starting lineup. First for Maryland, Laron Profit has been on a tear in the last 6 games, averaging 15.3 points, 6 rebounds a ball game. For the Blue Devils of Duke, Steve Wojciechowski. Not only is he number 1 in the ACC in steals, number 2 in assists, he is number 1 in the all-important category assist-to-turnover ratio. Better than 3 assists to every turnover he commits. He has been brilliant.
He's their catalyst defensively. He initiates their defense with pressure on the ball. Candidate for the Henry Iba Defensive Player of the Year award.
Profit driving on Capel, got into the lane, couldn't hit the shot, got his own rebound. Double team, Wojciechowski reached in, taken away, but Duke is out of bounds on the recovery by Trajan Langdon.
I got a feeling Profit's going to have a big game, Mike, and the only reason I justify saying that, I watched him today at the workout, and he was out here real early, and he's really in focus for this game.
Bad pass by Jasikevicius. Wojciechowski fouled by Stokes. Maryland trying to accomplish something tonight only 2 other teams have ever done, Dick.
A grand slam they're going for. They want to win on Tobacco Road, all 4. South Carolina in 70 and 75 Maryland. Maryland in 75 was John Lucas and company. And in 70, South Carolina was Bobby Cremins in that gang down there with John Roach, Frank McGuire's days.
Keith Booth would love to add that to his resume tonight as Wojciechowski goes to the free throw line. 77% free throw shooter. hit those 2 big ones to beat Virginia in that controversial game. Misses his first one here. And here was the assist to turnover ratio we were talking about. 155 to 51. You're thrilled with a point guard who has 2 to 1. He has better than 3 to 1.
3 to 1 is absolutely impressive, especially in their system and their fast-paced game, which allows them, Mike, to lead the ACC in scoring, 80 points per game.
And this kid does not take a breather a second on the court. Obinna Ekezie, a big key in this game. He's fouled by Carmen Wallace as he backed in on him.
That's a great point you just made. Ekezie becomes a major factor because of his size. The one problem with Duke is Duke doesn't have a whole lot of size when they play their really top 6 players. Newton's playing now. He's being honored because he's a senior being placed on the floor. But that was their dilemma against UCLA, who beat them on the offensive glass late in the game with J.R. Henderson playing brilliantly.
The other thing about Ekezie, he has been in seemingly constant foul trouble this year and spent a lot of time on the bench. The young man has really improved his game from a year ago, but he's got to stay on the court to help Gary Williams.
He's still learning how to play this game.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't have a whole lot of experience in terms of basketball experience. His idol, Hakeem Olajuwon, he had a chance to meet him, and he invited him to Houston to play with him this summer.
Capel to Newton, and Newton lost it on the way in, but he's fouled. It looked like Ekezie will be charged with it, and he is. The big guy gets his first.
Mike, there's a lot of optimism down here right now, and a lot of people are excited about this Duke basketball team, and they really should be excited. My gut feeling is Mike Krzyzewski, who's done a brilliant job with this team. I don't believe they can win a national championship unless Greg Newton starts to get into the equation.
Capel with a beautiful scoop shot, and Dick, I couldn't agree with you more. I think Newton's got to play like 12, 15 minutes a half. I think Domzowski's got to play for them to be able to get to that level.
Well, to beat Kansas with the size of LaFrentz and Pollard, they're going to need some size.
Profit off the bad pass, put it up, and Newton with a rebound.
He must have heard us. There's Newton on the glass. I did an interview today with a Canadian station down here to pay tribute to Mr. Newton.
Carmen Wallace outside to Capel, who has played so much better as the season has worn along. Wojo for 3. Ekezie with a rebound, nearly lost it. And a bad outlet pass picked off by Capel.
And I'll tell you one thing, Duke is really fired up tonight for 2 reasons. One, they want to bounce back from that loss to UCLA. And number 2, they want to win the ACC regular championship. They realize that that's a great achievement.
They would clinch at least a tie for that with a win tonight. Newton offensive rebound, back to Capel. Little hanger in the lane, won't go. Maryland trying to run. Stokes with Wojciechowski back.
Nice move.
And he'll get the foul from Wojo.
Oh, they called the walk a little bit earlier.
You know, I think that's a good call because I thought Stokes did travel.
As a look at Gary Williams, there's Stokes from out of Simon Gratz High School in Philadelphia. Same high school that produced Rasheed Wallace.
Yep.
It's like an oven up here, man. We're in a sauna, Mike. We're in a sauna.
I tell you, it's bad down on the court, Dick. I would estimate it was 80 degrees as we started the game. Conditioning is going to be a problem as we get on the stretch. Wallace leans into one, got it.
Well, the senior, he's had knee problems. He said, my career has been like Rhapsody in Blue. It's been a little bit up and down. Freshman year to the Final Four. Sophomore year, last place in the ACC.
Stokes, nice job of penetrating. Back outside the booth. He misses the shot. Newton with another board.
And the senior year, here they are, top 10 team in America. Duke's done a great job with ball movement in their improved situation.
There's the travel on Langdon. Looked like his foot slipped out from under him just as he started.
I couldn't believe him against UCLA. Brett Musburger and I were absolutely shocked. He was 0 for 9 in the first half, and he's such a great shooter. He's coming off that brilliant performance where he's magnificent against Clemson when he had 34.
I think I would have bet you that kid would never be 0 for 9 from any distance.
I mean, he had some wide open shots. He was like shocked that he couldn't knock it out.
Offensive foul. Yes, Sacavis just committed the cardinal error, just stuck the off arm out and pushed.
Well, what about the defense, Mike? Well, hedging, stepping out. Digger Phelps, you're going to like this. Used to teach us at Notre Dame, baby. There it is. Now watch. Right there, Wallace stepping in, hedging. Great job by Carmen Wallace. They love that chain here. Carmen, Wallace, Carmen, Wallace.
Here's the pressure on Wojciechowski against the double team. Gets it to Capel. Duke doing a good job. And now Mike Krzyzewski has 5 new uniforms. walking over to the official scorer's table. He will substitute en masse at his first opportunity.
That's been the strength of this club. They've changed their starting lineup numerous times. The two guys have started every game have been Langdon and Wojciechowski.
Travel. Duke turns it over for the second time. 5-1 with 16:29 to go. 5 substitutions for the Blue Devils. As we let you know, the number 9 Cincinnati will take on Marquette. That's tonight, 9:30 Eastern, the scheduled start right after our ball game.
And that is a big game in Milwaukee. Marquette better win that game, baby. They need that W.
Now let's see. McLeod, Chappelle, James. Ricky Price is on the court, as is Chris Carrawell. So Duke has already used 10 players, and Gary Williams wanted a foul on that play.
Depth has really been a factor for Duke all year long. James getting some playing time. Hasn't played much recently. Gary Williams certainly wants to sweep it down here. He's Mr. Intensity. Look at him, said, foul, come on, call the foul, he's screaming. Gary, what a career. Started off at Woodrow Wilson High School in Camden, New Jersey when I was coaching high school. Had Harold Sullinger, a great player. They won the state championship. They went to Lafayette, American, Boston College.
Good ball movement. They get into Booth in the lane, but he walked. Gary Williams just beside himself. His team can't do anything right so far. They've had 5 turnovers in the first 3:54.
He said he thought they played well against North Carolina, except defensively on the blocks inside. They couldn't handle Swicker, who had 24, and Jamison, who had 29.
And they look awful against Massachusetts. McLeod bricks a 3.
McLeod had a big game against Maryland in game 1, 22 points and 11 rebounds.
Reach-in foul on Ricky Price. That's his first. Price, another key to this ball club. He has been outstanding in February. 15:49 to go first half. 5-1 Duke. You're looking at the Devil's Den, a sports bar on campus here in Durham, North Carolina. It is tough to get into Cameron Indoor, part of the overflow crowd, enjoying it on the big screen.
Hey, right here, this is the Cameron chaotic people, the Cameron crazies. Hey, the Devil's Den. I want to go over and see all the people at the Devil's Den. Come on, Mike Kay, go over to say hello to those people.
Mike Krzyzewski with a win tonight would move into second place all-time behind only Dean Smith and ACC wins. And this is another one of those Dean Smith records that looks like a misprint. 363, more than double what Mike Krzyzewski has been able to achieve in his brilliant 17-year career at Duke. Of course, Dean's been at it a little while longer than that down in Chapel Hill. 36 to be exact.
27 consecutive years, winning 20 or more with that big win over Clemson.
Jasikevičius around the screen at the baseline, and he is their big outside threat. Their first field goal of the game, a 3 from the junior.
They're going to need that perimeter shot from Jasikevičius. He's an outstanding long-range shooter. Nice look inside.
Beautiful feed inside by Carrawell and Nate James.
Nate James getting a chance to play against Maryland, and his choices came down. It was Maryland, and it was Duke.
And I liked what James did. He didn't go up and try for the big jam. He just laid the ball in there.
Played at St. John's Prospect Hall in Maryland.
Akese trying to get inside with McLeod, and Akese just keeps working.
That's the lack of size on the interior, Mike.
McLeod 6'8", 220. Akese about 260, maybe 270.
McLeod gives him an inside-outside player.
Runner won't go, kept alive inside, now lost. Stokes kicks it out to a wide-open Prophet.
No one rotated back. Prophet having a big month of February. And you said it earlier, last year he came on strong in the second half of the year. Had a big game, in fact, 35 points in his last 2 games against Duke. Maryland has taken the lead. 14:25 to go first half. Here's a reach-in foul on Booth. What a career Booth's had. 3 years in a row with 200 rebounds or more. Guess what? Guess who's the biggest rebounder in the history? The Windex man at Maryland. Our own Lenny Elmore. Lenny was a tremendous rebounder, over 1,000 in his career. He ranks number 1. Price with a hanger, it won't go. Booth with a rebound. Lenny does a great job on the network for us as well. And Jasikevičius lost it out of bounds. Stokes' pass was wide. And that's going to get Kovarik into the ballgame.
Number 11, Matt
Keith
Tavares
Booth
into
never
the lineup
complained about
for
not being the star, not being the centerpiece. Well, this year he is the centerpiece of this team.
Well, last year their problem was they were a little bit selfish. They were all really shooting for individual goals and didn't play as a unit, as a team, as they have this year.
James beats the press, gets it up. Chappelle with a long miss, knocked away from Price, out of bounds, out to Duke.
Ricky Price has stepped up, only had a deuce against Maryland in that first time they played when they lost 74-70. He's averaging 13.5 off the bench in his last 6 games. Was explosive against UCLA, had 17.
James backs in against Booth and hits the turnaround. McLeod.
Yeah, Rashawn McLeod, St. John's University, a Marco Polo guy, a transfer.
He's made a big difference in this team, Dick. 12 points a game.
Look at this. He's rotating another 5. He's playing units.
Outlet to Price. Could have given it up, and Booth wide open as Maryland. This is the style that Terps would love to play.
Really surprised to see the substitution pattern now. Mike Krzyzewski's bringing in another 5.
Going to send in the original 5 that started the game. This is like the old blue team at North Carolina.
Yeah, with Dean Smith, one of his creations. He's such an innovative guy. And we got to salute El Dino. 20 games again, 27 years. And I'll tell you one thing, they ran into a team that was ready to play. Rick Barnes had them ready last night.
Weren't they ever?
They just didn't make free throws. The importance of making free throws. North Carolina went 20 for 25.
Magnificent coaching job that Dean Smith has done this year, just beyond description almost. Capel gives it up to Wallace. Wojciechowski trying to get by Stokes, who recovered nicely. Wojo can't head fake him. Shot clock is down to 12. There's Newton moving on Elliott, and he traveled.
Double team. They immediately, as soon as the ball goes inside, the Newton who came from Canada was highly rated. He came here with another kid who's now playing at Boston University, Joey Beard. And he came in with a big reputation. And I'll tell you, Dennis Wolf and Boston University have had a tremendous year.
Joey Beard barely saw the light of day here. Kavaric brings it up, hands it to Booth in a tough spot, three-quarter court at the sideline. Duke challenges everything. Here's the lob to Booth.
Run him off a screen, off a back cut. Trying to get that lob up over the top, utilizing his power and his strength.
As usual, Duke got some help on defense.
Jeff Capel picked up his dribble. That's a no-no.
And Duke calls the timeout to avoid the jump ball situation with 12:35 to go first half. Maryland up by a point.
Capel's an interesting story. Back in December, he was booed here by the Cameron Crazies when he was coming into the game against Florida State. And he has turned it all around, and he credits a lot to his dad, the coach at Old Dominion. He said, my dad taught me one thing after that. He said, let me tell you something. Even if you, as we look at his dad sitting right there with his beautiful mom as well, he said, my dad told me just be patient, play. You don't have to please everyone because no matter what you do in life, you can't please everyone. And he said, I just kept playing and playing. And he said, now the crowd has been beautiful to me.
He's a nice kid. I'm happy for him, Dick, that he's been able to come back like that. And it's to his credit.
You know, he spoiled everybody. They were looking for him to be a superstar after his freshman year when he played brilliantly in the NCAA tournament.
Plus, he was in a very tough position playing point guard. That's not his spot. Nice defense by Prophet. Quickly ahead to Booth. Runner in the lane. Didn't get the roll. Kavaric tried to keep it alive, but Duke controls. And Wallace hacked. And Keith Booth with his second silly foul.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Mike, that's not a foul you expect out of an experienced player who's so valuable to your team. Keith knows better than that. He's got a great basketball resume.
Booth and Akizi are the two guys that they cannot afford to have off the court, and they're the guys that commit the silly foul.
Yeah, see you reaching in here 90 feet away from the basket. You're not going to get away with that, Keith. You can't get away with it, even though you're all ACC, baby. Even though you're a star, you can't get away with that.
Has to sit down at the 12-minute mark.
He's got to become an assistant coach now. Gary doesn't need assistant coaches. He's got great assistants. He needs them on the floor.
Got a moving screen called against Newton, and we've got a timeout. 12 minutes to go in the half. Maryland with a 1-point lead over Duke. 12 minutes to go, first half to play. We invite you to watch ESPN's Emmy Award-winning series hosted by Bob Lee. It will commemorate the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking Major League Baseball's color barrier. Breaking the Lines, the Jackie Robinson legacy, the life and times, put in historical perspective. It starts at 8:30 Eastern, Bob Lee has done such a brilliant job with this series, and it will be followed by an ESPN town meeting. Sports in black and white. Ted Koppel of ABC News Nightline hosting a town meeting with a focus on racism in sports. And ladies and gentlemen, I can honestly tell you, having spent my entire life in this business, that sports is the one equalizer of race in this country. It can be the best thing about race relations, and we hope you watch these shows. They are very important to all of us.
I know one thing, one topic that will be discussed there, obviously, is the fact right now in the NFL with all the openings that came about, and there wasn't one African-American hired. I'll guarantee that'll be discussed by Ted Koppel and company, and it should.
Foul was on Carmen Wallace, his second. He will sit down.
Wallace, good defensive player, great role player. And what an up-and-down career when you think about the senior class. Freshman year, as we said earlier, go to the final game of the NCAA tournament. Second year, they go to last place in that tough year. And then last year, they have a decent year. They come back, get to the NCAA tournament, and this year, they're top 10 and have a great chance to win the ACC regular season.
Great passing by Maryland. They passed up about 3 shots, and Stokes buries a 3.
Stokes makes that opening jump shot. He's an interesting story. What a great story he would be for ESPN, what I learned today, Mike. At 11 years old, involved in all kinds of problems. You can see the jumper on the baseline.
Kavarik commits the foul. The basket is good. A chance for a 3-point play for Duke. They're back to within 2.
A great touch, squaring his body. There's that look. Mr. Langdon, you know, getting back to Stokes. What an interesting, you and I were talking about it in the car coming down here. 11 years of age and all kinds of trouble with drugs, goes to a reform school. Has to really change his life, changes his life completely, and has become an outstanding young man. A great story. Someone should do a major feature on him.
This is Akese in the lane, gives it up to Stokes.
Good little penetrator.
Newton all the way out on Akese, and Akese called for the offensive foul. I think Newton got away with one that time.
Akese said, I can't get away with him. I'm going to Cameron Indoor Stadium. Trying to take him one-on-one.
2 on Obinna Akese.
Well, Obinna now has 2, and Booth has 2. And there's Newton. Well, I don't know. I think he beat him to the spot.
Might be right.
I think Greg Newton beat him to the spot. Look at the emotion. Hey, where's the earrings? Come on now. They tell me he's got a new tattoo on his belly button now. That's what you're going to get, a tattoo. I bet Digger has one. I bet Digger and Fowler have tattoos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is as good as your other bets, I think.
Oh, wow.
Full court pressure by Maryland. This is the part of the game they love. It creates the turnover. Foul as Elliott goes in. He's grabbed by McLeod.
I don't think Duke's been able to get into the kind of rhythm they like by changing the lineup consistently. They don't seem to be in a real flow right now. As we look at Michael Kay on that sideline, next year brings in that tremendous recruiting class to join many of these young people. I'll guarantee they're going to be preseason in a lot of polls, either number 1, 2 in America.
Maryland has really stepped up from the free throw line the last few ball games, shooting better than 70% in 8 of their last 10.
Rodney Elliott's been one of the better 6 men in college basketball. He's been instant offense for him, had double figures in that 74-70 win against Duke.
Missed the second shot, but Profit with an offensive rebound. He tries to move on McLeod. Good defense. Then McLeod blocked the shot. And Profit forced that one.
McLeod's size was the difference right there in that matchup.
Look at that move by Langdon. Still able to keep the dribble alive.
He's a better driver than people think. He's just not a jump shooter. Kavarik's played him really tough, trying to keep the ball away from him. They got to get some looks for Langdon. They're going to set some screens for him.
Capel trying to penetrate, kicks it back outside. McLeod left alone from 14. Elliott with a rebound to Stokes, 3-on-3. Profit blocked from behind, the foul. That'll be on Carrawell.
Nice look by Stokes, running a break. Langdon a little stationary right now. Somebody's going to go find him and make some screens. See him right here, number 21? There he is. Number 11 can play him very easily. They got to get some screens. He's laying the screen. Sometimes the most dangerous guy is the screener stepping back from the screen. Easiest guy to play, though, is a guy that's not moving, and Trajan just playing out on the wing. Some people got to help him. The Alaskan Assassin. That was given to him by a lady by the name of Liz Wall from down this area.
I like that.
She's a freelance reporter. I met her tonight. Leads the ACC in 3-point shooting. second here at Duke. Guess the best three-point shooter, field goal percentage-wise here at Duke. Here's a little trivia. I got to get Brad Nessler. He's a trivia guy. What do you think of that answer? You will know this one. Three-point field goal percentage shooter, Christian Laettner. You got it right. Unbelievable. Scary, isn't it? It's unbelievable.
Duke cuts it 16-14, approaching the 10-minute mark.
I can't believe it. Hats off. I got to buy you dinner for that one. 48%.
That'll be a first.
Oh, come on now. Christian Laettner.
Here's a foul inside, pushing by Profit. That'll be one on Laron Profit. Kovarik comes out, and Jasikevicius will come back in.
Jasikevicius back in the ball.
And we're in the 1-and-1.
Profit, an outstanding athlete, an excellent transition player. Played in a high school state championship against the combination playing for Xavier now, Gary Lumpkin and Lenny Brown. And they beat his high school team for the state title. Those guys played at William Penn from out of Wilmington, Delaware.
Langdon at the line, where, as Dick mentioned, he's first in the ACC. He is sixth in the country, 89.8%, and he misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Basketball is going to be a little slippery, as hot and as humid as it is down there tonight. Jasikevicius, a tough bounce pass, and Watkins can't get it.
Let him have a little rock. Oh, little showtime. The little guy, Wojo.
10 Maryland turnovers the first 10 minutes. Wojo! In there!
Right up the line, goes coast to coast, and the camera crazies love it. The little guy, he had exams this week. They get a TO, Gary Williams. Look at that intensity, look at that emotion, give him another bump.
Wojciechowski's effort has tied it at 16 with 9:36 to go in the half, and Dick, I tell you, he gets my vote as the best point guard in this conference.
I tell you, look at him handling it right now. He's going to pop out the little basketball. And now here he is, putting it to the deck. There he's laying on the floor. Look at the little dribbling routine. That's a little Pete Maravich drill. That's what Maravich drills they used to teach you at camps. He did that at the 5-star camp for Howard Garfinkel. Hey, Garf, you told him how to handle a rock like that. There's Garf's favorite little guard going up to the goal. Wojciechowski. Well, you can make certainly a case on the kind of year he's had right now. But the bottom line is he's perfect for this system.
Absolutely.
He fits into this system just perfectly.
His numbers against Maryland in the first game, but when you have better than a 3-to-1 assist ratio, you are not making the big mistakes that hurt your team, and you are getting a lot of passes to set up your teammates.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. Next year they bring in all that talent. Shane Battier, Chris Burgess, Elton Brand, William Avery, who'll be playing Saturday night over at the Dean Dome against the Mount Zion team with Tracy McGrady and Max Owens going to Carolina. But I'll bet you right now, a little dinner, that Mr. Wojciechowski and Langdon are in the starting lineup. I don't care who they bring in.
Absolutely. Jasikevicius has had a 3 and passed on it. This is Stokes. We're tied at 16.
And you know I'm not a betting guy, Mike. I don't like to give up a dime for anything.
You already owe me about 30 dinners. Elliott nearly lost it, and then he throws it past Jasikevicius. 11 Maryland turnovers in 11 minutes. You can't play that way.
No, not on the road against someone like Duke. And remember what's at stake here right now. Duke is trying to win their 4th ACC regular season title in the 90s, 12th overall. And when you think about that achievement and how difficult this conference is, to me, Mike, you may not agree. I think that's a greater achievement winning a regular season than the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Carrawell with a miss. Booth back in the lineup, saves the ball for the Turks.
When you do it for the long haul for 16 games, that is special.
Here's Akizi. Pushed out of there by McLeod, and then they call the foul on McLeod. No, it's a travel. Holy cow, I thought McLeod got away with 2 of them, and so did Gary Williams.
Well, Gary agrees with you as well. There's Amina on the inside. Now we're going to see him try to make that crossover move. I didn't see the walk.
I didn't either. I thought I saw 2 fouls, but I didn't see the walk. Gary Williams usually goes through that suits as hot as it is down there tonight. That one is not going to be dry cleanable.
Yeah, but I know one thing. These coaches today with all their side deals, he's probably not paying for that suit. Come on.
Langdon travels, coming back the other one.
Just like Digger when he was at Notre Dame. He got all those free Armani specials. And he never leaves me one, Digger. Look at Gary again.
I'm amazed the jacket's still on.
Tom Davis is the guy that gave him his first opportunity at Lafayette.
And there's Billy Hahn. Billy's been known to drench a jacket now and then.
Billy's son goes to Maryland.
Stokes, nice drive. Then he has his pocket pick. Wojciechowski to Price. And Profit fouls him.
Ricky Price out in transition, showing that great speed and quickness. He was really pumped up. Had a lot of his family and friends at the game against UCLA. He and Toby Bailey know each other for years. Their dads really very competitive with each other. As you watch Wojo, there's the steal from the rear, the deflection. Jimmy B used to always talk about the deflection. Look at his heads up all the time. And there's Ricky Price getting fouled from behind by Profit.
Profit picks up his second.
You could be looking at a matchup with Maryland and Clemson in 4 and 5 possibly in an ACC tournament. Look at here, February. What a different player he's been.
That's during his career, not just this year. He's done the same thing this year, I think for different reasons.
You know, I think when you look at Ricky Price and you think of Capel, as you look at Quinn Snyder doing a little coaching there, he's got a law degree as well, good-looking guy, working and talking to Trajan Langdon. I think that Capel and Price finally just set their mind that we're just going to bust our guts in practice and we're going to prove to Coach K that we're going to earn playing time. Because earlier this year, they were both struggling.
Duke by a point. Stokes and Booth break the press.
And the one way with Coach Krzyzewski you're going to play is you have to do it every day in practice. If you don't do it in practice, you're not going to get PT.
Profit for three.
Oh,
Banked it home.
He gets it off the glass. You know why you get those breaks? He came out early. He was working while everybody else was sleeping. He was in the arena. When you have great work ethic, young people, a lot of positives happen.
Yeah, did you see the smile? He's a little embarrassed by that one, too.
There's a saying that goes, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Oh, do I agree with that?
Wojo with Capel in the backcourt. Capel doesn't get the roll. Newton got a hand on it, but couldn't hold it, and Profit with a rebound.
Profit, very athletic. Excellent transition player. Maryland really got handled big time by University of Massachusetts. They weren't, I didn't think, in that game emotionally ready to play, and Mass was playing so well.
I think, Dick, this conference is so hard. You're playing so many big games that when you play a game out of conference, it's almost like a breather, no matter who you're playing. A lot of intensity, a lot of heat here at Cameron Indoors. Stay with us. Maryland by 2. He is the inspirational leader of this ball club. His team has cut the deficit to 2 with 7 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the first half. Yesikavicius. This is Stokes, guarded by Wojciechowski. McKeesy powers his way in, and he'll draw the foul this time from Carrawell. Back to Wojciechowski for a second, Dick. The great point guards they have had here at Duke, the fact that he is better than 3-to-1 in his turnover ratio. Look at the numbers for the guys he is ahead of. Amaker, Hurley, and Snyder. Great players all. He's not just breaking the record, he's destroying it.
Well, not only is he breaking the record, as we talked about earlier, what makes it so impressive is the tempo of the game. He's not turning the ball over in a fast-paced transition game. They lead the conference average at 80 points a game. He was so crushed with that loss at UCLA. I happened to travel on a plane with the team coming back, and we flew into Atlanta, and he had to take an exam the next day at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. And he was so depressed. He said, I'm going to be up all night, but I hate to lose.
Price works himself free from the jump shot, rims out on him, but the tip is good by Carrawell.
Chris Carrawell has become a solid player. He was inserted in the starting lineup. They played that small lineup when they beat Wake Forest, and he really played exceptionally well defensively. Cardinal Witter High School, St. Louis.
They tried to lob to Booth. He got it off the back of the rim and put it in. Great play and concentration by Booth.
Yeah, super strong. Remember the magnificent 7 in scoring, averaging double figures all 4 years throughout his collegiate career. That's special.
Maryland by 3. Newton over Casey, who's playing with 2 personal.
I'd like to see him really stepping up. I know the guy's been really taking some big-time hits, and he's really working hard, they say, in practice now, trying to develop a real strength for them for the end of the year.
Well, this could be his breakout game, Dick, because he has played well and he's played hard in this game.
Well, he played hard against UCLA. In a few minutes, he was on the floor, set some screens, went and rebounded.
Stokes traveled before the shot. It's Terrell Stokes forcing it against Wojciechowski.
Mr. Intensity on that sideline. You talk about Booth. Now working on the inside. Watch Keith Booth, number 22. Look at him want to post up. He's a dynamite post-up player. Now the ball is loose. Look at that concentration. And he just takes it up strong with the left hand. Came out of Baltimore, Dunbar High School. His cousin, Dante Bright, played overseas, played for the great UMass team last year.
Duke down by a point, 5:39 and counting first half. Trajan Langdon would spend some time on the bench.
Get it to Newton. Got it to Newton down inside. Now he's got a one-on-one.
Into the lane and scores over Akese. 2 straight for Newton.
That's a big plus for Duke. If that guy starts to give him some basketball, his mom says, that's my guy. He's ready to start to help this club again. Remember, before he went to the bench, Mike, he was their leading scorer and their leading rebounder.
Absolutely. Akese walked. How many travels have we had tonight?
And that was created by the rotation of the Duke defense by Carrawell, rotating over from the help side.
15 turnovers against Maryland in the first half. A turnover a minute.
Nice little move on the interior by Newton. Good drop step, getting the ball into the lane. Look at him hustling. Family reacting. There's his mom saying, come on, Greg, you can play, baby. I think he got the message loud and clear. Unless he exerts an effort and some enthusiasm, he'll just sit on a pine. He'll be Pine City.
Pull-up jumper by Capel. Way off the mark. Carrawell.
I like him, Mike. He's a winner. Not spectacular. He's a solid player, and they like him here at Duke. The Devil's Den likes it now. Come on, people at the Devil's Den. I hope you're all cheering.
Duke by 3. Stokes back the other way to Elliott.
Nice screen inside. Maryland so well coached.
Booth. Excellent defense by Carrawell, and Newton with a rebound.
Got to stop the ball.
Bryce will wait for help. Capel right down the gut. Nobody came to stop it.
No one rotated over. That's usually automatic when you talk about Maryland. Gary's got to be disappointed with that defensive effort. There's a look at Jeff Capel, senior, the coach of Old Dominion.
I'll tell you what he's disappointed with on that play. There was no defensive effort.
Exactly, no effort whatsoever. Nobody rotated over. Chaos at the Cameron, baby. Jeff Capel really went to the hole strong. Here he goes. You can put a truck through there. Nobody rotates over. Keith Booth says, where are you guys? Give me a little help. There's no help. There's mom, dad, and mom on the left. There's mom, their son Jason, everybody says is special. One of the top 10 juniors in the country at St. John's Prospect Hall.
9 different Duke players have scored the Capel's numbers in his career. 3-pointers, 3rd all-time, 7th in assists. And this is from a guy who was forced to play point guard. He is not a point guard by nature, and he did a heck of a job trying to do it.
3rd three-point shooting, and that's behind Bobby Hurley, a lot of people don't realize, and Chris Collins. I miss Chris Collins. I thought he gave, you talk about a kid that played with emotion and feeling. He'd be so excited to be part of this.
Duke by 5.
Got that 3 so well.
Crawford gives it up to Akese, roll over the rim. Akese fights to get it back and does. Offensive rebound and a foul. Elliott working hard to get the board. The foul is going to be on Chappelle.
Talking to Gary today at the shoot-around, the first question as you look at Mike Krzyzewski working that sideline, Gary immediately said, I know all you guys are saying, what's happened? He said, nothing's really happened to us, and that we've lost 5 of our last 8 games, other than the fact that we're playing in such an unbelievable conference that every day you're going against a top 15 team in America.
Check the last foul. It was on Carrawell, so that's 3 for him in the first half, and he has to sit down.
College of Charleston posted up there. What a great year John Kress is having. I personally feel they belong in the tournament, whether they win their tournament or not. Michigan really, I think, is on the ropes, especially with the way Wisconsin has come back and won 6 in a row. Wisconsin's got some big wins lately, and Michigan's going to have to beat Illinois at Illinois. Even though they beat Duke here and they beat Arizona, they better not lose that game in Illinois. That could hurt them big time.
Elliott, 3 out of 4 from the line tonight. Maryland is clawing its way back within 3. 3:54 to go in the half. The Devil's Den in Durham, North Carolina. Not a pool game to be had. They're all watching hoops from Cameron Indoor.
Hey, Mike, how come they're not studying? How come they're not studying in the Devil's Den? It's supposed to be exam midterm week. How come they're not studying in there? Get out the books.
I tell you, even at Duke, I don't think you go to a sports bar to study, do you? I know what I went for.
You did?
Constantly. Here's the game summary. Duke shooting 48% so far. The turnovers, they forced 16, and they've made Maryland pay. Wojciechowski against the press.
Go to a half-court trap.
Capel for three. Got the roll.
Pretty tough to trap against Duke, the way they spread out, and they got open court shooters. They shoot the three so well.
That is the first three they've hit tonight, however, 1 out of 4. Maryland is 3 for 3.
And Maryland's done a good job on the perimeter defensively. They're averaging making 8 threes a game, Duke.
Wojciechowski went in and took it away from McKeesey and drew his 3rd foul. What a play by the little guy.
Let's look at Gary Williams. He's won 20 games or more 7 times in his career. I don't think anybody gave him a shot this year. They were projected to be 8th in the conference. He's done a phenomenal job, especially with that great start where they got as high as number 5 in the poll.
Dick, this is typical of Wojciechowski. Look at that.
That's why he's the Rambo man. He makes my all Rambo team.
Goes after a guy who weighs 70 pounds more than he does, took the ball away and drew the foul. 3 on McKeesey.
You know what's really important here when you look at Wojciechowski is another part of the story we talk about in basketball. It's not always the best talent that is going to be on the floor. You have to play within a unit, and you have to bring to the table some special intangibles, and he brings a lot with his emotion and the passion he has playing. It becomes contagious with everyone else.
Averages 6.5 points, 5.5 assists per ball game. Good free throw shooter, makes both there.
Shooting 77% on the line. And you got guys like Wojo and Langdon who can make those free throws at the end of the game. McLeod's an excellent free throw shooter, 81%.
Profit guarded by Capel. They get it to Booth, down on McLeod. Booth's got that beautiful soft touch.
Nice job. They invert Booth. They can use him inside, outside on the wing. He's got a little better range now than he had in the past.
He's been held to 6 points here in the first half, and the lead is 6. Newton setting a screen from McLeod, then gets the ball back. They have forced that one a little bit, but got it anyway.
I'll tell you, Mike, he's very active and very productive. He is playing with a lot of emotion and intensity. He wants playing time. This could be a big plus for Duke.
He's hit 3 for 3 from the floor, so he's given him some offense. He's given him some good board work. Bad pass by Jasikevičius, but Maryland keeps it, and then Booth throws it away.
Can't rely on that jump shot from the perimeter all the time, so he needs some balance, and he'll give him some balance inside, outside.
Capel kept alive by McLeod, but he knocked it out of bounds.
I think they're going to need a performance out of Newton against that hot North Carolina team who's on fire on Sunday at 4 o'clock on ABC. What a matchup. Carolina has not lost in the month of February. And Dean, as we look right here, points in a point. Paint, 20-8. It's amazing. Dean said, all I want to be is, I don't care about 8-0 in February. I want to be 1-0 in March after Sunday.
Maryland averages turning the ball over 16.6 times a game. In the first half tonight, 17. That's 18.
And Newton made that play defensively. Get him the ball. He wants it inside. Get it to him.
Little fall away. Couldn't hit that one. Carmen Wallace kept it alive. Booth took it from him.
But the positive is he's very active.
Profit ahead of the pack. Langdon. The only one back, and Langdon took it away.
Oh, I thought he got fouled. I thought Profit got fouled right there. I guess they see it better than us. Well, ball.
Gary Williams is going nuts. And I thought he had a good argument on that one, too.
When doesn't Gary go bananas?
But that time I thought he was right.
Oh, I did, too. I thought from up here, even a blind guy like me with one eye thought he got fouled of that baby.
34-26, Duke by 8. Langdon for 3. Didn't get the roll. Profit with a rebound.
Duke leading the ACC and shooting that trifecta.
Oh, Profit almost turned it over again. Booth with a pull-up 14-footer. Didn't get it. Elliott with an offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
I like Rodney Elliott. Here's a kid that comes in and just keeps getting on the glass, runs the court.
Foul was on Newton. It's his second coming up on the Delta Faucet halftime report. Take a look at the Pac-10 bubble teams. Conference USA will have a report on them. Bulls against the Cavaliers. Chris and Digger will be in the studio. We invite you to stay tuned for that.
That's some backcourt. I mean, Chris and Digger. I know Digger was a point guard at Hamburg Rock when he played down at Ryder. They were Cupcake City during his era. Chris, I don't know what he played. Played intramural down at Colorado. He played on the all-intramural team.
Rodney Elliott on the line for
Newton, I'll tell you, deserves some plaudits right there. Really played well, Greg Newton.
1-1.
3 out of 4 for Elliott from the line tonight. We asked Gary Williams at the beginning of the year, when did this guy become a rebounder instead of a perimeter player? And he said, when I told him to at the beginning of the year.
Said he wouldn't get playing time. Gary was a heck of a point guard. Tom Davis was a graduate assistant at Maryland when Gary played, and that's how they developed a relationship. And then Tom took him with him up at Lafayette. We know about the great job Gary has done at many places, Boston College, and certainly the job he did at Ohio State. He had all those great players before he left to come back to his alma mater.
Elliott has 5. There's a bad pass by McLeod.
Yeah, really terrible right there. That's not Duke basketball. Rashawn knows better than that.
1 minute to go first half, 34-28, Duke by 6. It's been a seesaw battle. Langdon will come back in as McLeod goes out.
Has not been really a well-played first half, Mike. There really hasn't been a lot of rhythm. There's been a lot of effort and intensity and good defense.
Booth in the lane, he's clobbered. And if that's on Wallace, that's his 3rd.
Duke foul number 34.
Wallace, good defensive player. He's had a lot of knee problems throughout his career. Good role player. On teams, you need role players. You don't need all stars. Hey, Booth would make my all-ACC team. How do you like my team? I like Harpering if I had to go. I'd go with Harpering. I think no matter what Georgia Tech has done, that kid has had a good year. I certainly like Langdon. You got to give Trajan a nod. Jamison's got to be on there. And you got to talk about certainly a guy. Does Mr. Duncan make it? Does he deserve it?
I think so. He might slip in on the first team.
He might slip on that club as well. Oh, okay.
Booth has made a living in the ACC off of his free throws. Nearly a third of his points in his career have come off the line. In his career, he's made an average of 4.5 free throws every game. This year, it's up to 6.5. He really earns it down low.
Well, he made the Magnificent 7, double figures all 4 years. You're talking about Albert King, Adrian Branch, John Lucas, Donnie Rhodes. You're talking Greg Manning, who looks up at Maryland, and Larry Gibson.
That's the tip in by Jesse Cavicius, and Maryland has cut the lead to 3. Bryce back the other way.
Try to beat that pressure before it sets up. Now they're into a half-court situation, and Wojo will take charge.
20-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Getting screen from Capel. Great penetration. He traveled. One of the rare mistakes by Wojciechowski. You did not mention your point guard on your all-ACC team.
No, when I went with my guard, I didn't go with a point guard. I went with Langdon. I put him on the club. Langdon, and I also Harpering, and then I went with Jamison, Duncan, and Booth. That's my club. But if you're going to go by position and you went to a point guard, you probably have to give the edge because they've won a little bit more to Wojo over McIntyre, who I really liked as well.
And Thompson in Florida State, I think, has done a great job as a point guard this year.
And my freshman of the year in the conference, Eddie Cota. His development's been amazing. He was talking to the press room.
Down to 6 seconds. Elliott with his own follow-and got it. Nice play by Elliott.
Rodney Elliott really hustling and scrapping in Maryland right now.
Wojciechowski! And no good.
No good. It was after. It was after, though, Mike. It was after.
A 50-footer, nothing but net. But Duke will leave the court here at Cameron Indoor with a hard-fought 1-point lead over Maryland.
Elliott really got on the offensive boards. He now misses that shot. Nobody blocks him out. That's a no-no. There it is, the offensive board. Now watch the little guy, Wojo, but it's too late. There it is now. He lets it go, baby, but the red light has gone off. He tickles the twine. Wow.
That's the first half story from Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke by a point over Maryland.
Mike, thanks. That was a 7-0 Maryland run to get back in and only down a point. I want to do the halftime from the Devil's Den there in Durham. Looked like fun.
We should have a studio there.
Even the folks there had a couple of Jägermeister shots, can see that Duke is doing it inside. Maryland had not been until that closing sequence.
Well, give credit to Greg Newton. I think he came out tonight, started this game at senior night at Duke, and he started scoring points in the paint. Right now, Duke has that edge with points in the paint, 20-10. But remember, UCLA dominated that second half with offensive rebounding, points in the paint. Maryland's got to get out of those turnovers and get that ball inside.
Should be a great second half. In the meantime, we'll talk about the Pac-10. Pessimists think maybe just 3 teams in the conference. Optimists are saying, no, we deserve 5. We'll talk about that and Conference USA ahead on the Delta Faucet Report.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Ford Taurus, a look you've never seen from a name you know well. And by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Duke with a 1-point halftime lead, trying to return to its days of glory this year. The Blue Devils can clinch at least a tie for the regular season title in the ACC. Maryland keeping its hopes alive for a third-place finish as we go toward next week's ACC tournament.
While we talk about the three-point shot, we look right now at Duke trying to swing the ball, really having a tough time. I thought Maryland did a great job with their perimeter defense. They really shut down big the Duke perimeter game. They were only 1 for 7 in the first half.
And they average 8.4 made threes a game. They lead the ACC. They just haven't been able to hit that one out of the corner.
And Langdon's 0 for 1 from 3, only 0 for 2 in 15 minutes of action. They're going to have to make those threes happen in the second half if they're going to beat this tenacious Maryland team as you look at the first half stats.
The big stat in there is 18 turnovers by Maryland, and Duke made them pay for it. Still, Maryland down by only 1, even with committing 18 turnovers in the first half. That's remarkable.
Yeah, because Duke really didn't do a great job taking the turnover and convert.
Capel to Langdon, works his way in, laid it on the rim. McKeezy with a rebound to Yesikavicius.
Oh, he walked. Yeah, he walked. Good
That was
call.
caused by Wojciechowski.
Good call by Rick Hartzell. You know, I mentioned Hartzell. He was the official involved in that Virginia game with Duke. And I'm going to tell you something. He's one of the better striped guys around. He made an error. We all make errors in our life. None of us are perfect. And it's a tough job. But he's a classy guy. He's an athletic director at Bucknell.
Rick Hartzell is a terrific official.
No
like
question.
you say, everybody makes mistakes. He just happened to make one in front of a couple of million people on television.
And you know what's really amazing is you look at Obino working on a glass inside. People forget that Wojciechowski still had to go to the line and make 2 free throws in a hostile environment. I mean, I feel bad for Virginia. That was a tough loss.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff Jones is going to buy into that part of it. McLeod against the press.
Especially in the situation he is right now where Jeff at 6 and 9. I think it'd be a travesty if they don't get in the NCAA tournament. But I think they have to beat Maryland to get to 7 and 9.
Maryland to the final game. Wojo for 3. Duke now 1 of 8. Here's Booth on the run. Capel is back. Here comes McLeod. Nice play by Booth. A little scoop shot. And Maryland has regained the lead.
Nice one-on-one move right there by Keith Booth. This Maryland club is certainly a surprising team all year long. And I'll tell you, that Cole Fieldhouse, was it alive this year? You talk about spirit and enthusiasm.
Wonderful environment. 14-5 every night.
There's some great environments. We saw one last night. I love Little John. I've not been there in Clemson in 14 years.
Wojciechowski for 3. Duke just can't buy an outside shot tonight, and they've lived off of it this year. McLeod backing in. Wojo left alone again. He's missed 3 straight, and here's a foul inside. Is it on Akizi?
Can't believe it. Look at his face. That's
That is 4 on Avina Akizi. We have only played a minute 32 in the second half, and he will have to sit down. Elliott will come in for him.
I think you could see Duke possibly take advantage of that by playing Newman in the second half. He had 14 very productive minutes in the first half with 6 points and 4 rebounds. This could be a carryover from the UCLA game the way they're shooting from the perimeter.
McLeod bangs his way in there. Booth commits the foul. That's his 3rd.
And remember what's at stake. I mean, as Digger and Chris were talking about, and I agree wholeheartedly, from top to bottom, the ACC is clearly the best conference in America. And right now, Duke has a chance to clinch an ACC regular season tie by winning today. And if they will win here and beat North Carolina at North Carolina, which is not going to be easy, baby, they can win it outright.
First time to the line tonight.
I'm saving
Rashawn McLeod.
I'm saving my coach of the year. My freshman of the year is Ed Cota in this conference. Player of the year, obviously, Tim Duncan. On my coach of the year, I'm going to wait for the heavyweight battle on Sunday. And whoever wins that game, that's going to be my ACC Coach of the Year. Dean Smith's done a phenomenal job regrouping his club after 0-3 and certainly deserves some votes. And Mike has done a great job all year with this club, with that score lineup. Whoever wins that game gets my vote as Coach of the Year in the ACC. What do you think of that, Mike?
I think they'll probably be celebrating a few other things before they get down to your vote.
I don't think anybody cares.
What a shot, and he draws the foul. I mean, I'm not trying to demean my partner here, but your vote for Coach of the Year may be about 12th on their list.
I think it's about 12,000. It could be, especially.
I was trying to be nice to you.
I was so nice to you. We tried 5.5 hours. We come all the way up from Clemson. We arrived 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting pretzels for you, treating you like royalty.
That foul was on Carrawell, his 4th.
See, but they have guys they can rotate. Carrawell's certainly an important player, but they got enough 6'5" and 6 guys as Newton's back on the floor.
Stokes missing a free throw.
You know, when you got the Nate James, and you got people like Chappelle, and you got people like Ricky Price, they can really rotate a lot of bodies at that slot. Stokes a good free throw shooter. In fact, that's the first miss he's had in the last 2 games.
Makes the second one. Maryland on top by 1. Terps trying to win their 10th game in the ACC.
They go to that full court diamond trap. 1-2. 1-1. Sometimes it looks like a 1-2-2. Nice pass. Great pass to McLeod. That's great basketball right there. Excellent 2-man play. Something that's been missing all night. There hasn't been any rhythm. But look at the dad. He says, I like that pass. I like that kind of basketball because he is a coach.
He's thinking just the way I taught him how to do it.
Well, he's a coach. He believes in fundamentals. Doing a heck of a job with Old Dominion's program.
Stokes throws it away. Good defense by McLeod.
I got a feeling we're going to see a spurt by Duke. I don't know why. There's a little extra bounce to their step right now, Mike.
Somebody's going to nail a 3-2.
There it is.
No. Newton offensive rebound. Wojo passed on the shot. Capel from 12.
I think we're going to see a little spurt coming on. Gary's got to be careful. Good job by Capel to get to 12-foot range with a little dribble penetration. And here come the Cameron Crazies.
39-36, Duke. Akese not in there because of foul trouble. Booth is working with 3. Prophet. Tough shot. He'll draw the foul, I believe, McLeod.
Prophet from out of Dover, Delaware. He's got a few administrators here from his high school. We played at Caesar Rodney High School. There's Capel with the great pass inside. Good 2-man play. Excellent bounce pass. Perfect execution to the 2-man game. And now Capel with the triple threat position. The little head fake, maybe a little carry that he got away with. Hell, Michael Jordan gets away with it. Why can't I? He's saying, heck with it. I can get away with that.
LaRon Prophet will go to the line. He's 2 for 2 there tonight. The last 6 games, he's averaged over 15 points a game. A sterling February. He had a sophomore from Charleston, South Carolina.
And he did the same thing last year. Well, he really played over in Delaware, but he's living right now and claims Charleston as a place of residence. Speaking about South Carolina, they got 3 teams in the top 25. A salute to that state with Clemson and College of Charleston, and certainly South Carolina. And I promise not to say that a lot of the Clemson fans told me last night, please remind South Carolina that we beat them by 19. But I promise not to say that, Mike. But we're not going to say that nationally. I will not do that. Eddie Fogler and his gang would like to play them again right now.
39-38. They may get the chance in the tournament. Who knows? Langdon, tough pull-up jump shot.
Struggling shooting the ball 2 games in a row.
Kavarik. Langdon tried to get back and couldn't, and Matt Kavarik, great body control to make the catch on the shot. Maryland regains the lead.
That was a super play by Kavarik. Great concentration. Langdon really struggling in the last 2 games. He was 3 for 13 in the last game.
Capel takes a tough shot over Stokes and buried it.
He has really stepped his game up the second half of the year. He's got 13 now. He's been a star.
Duke back by 1, 16:09 to go in the game. Newton reached in and knocked it away, but right to Stokes.
See, when you're deflecting passes like that, that means you're playing aggressively.
Booth working on Newton. Had it stuffed. Who gets the foul? Newton, I believe.
Keith Booth working on the inside. He's got a lot of NBA scouts evaluating him, charting. I see Keith Trump down here. A lot of the media people nationally are here. Dickie Weiss is in the house. We also got Bill Brill down there. We got a lot of writers in town here.
That was the 3rd foul on Newton. Mike Krzyzewski will leave him on the court with 15:54 to go. And Booth goes back to the free throw line. The 2nd leading scorer in the ACC. 6th in free throws, 6th in field goal percentage, 5th in rebounds. He's just had a sensational year.
Yeah, one of the premier rebounders ever to play at Maryland, but the best. The PTP run of glass was our own Lenny Elmore. Roland Lenny Elmore had over 1,000 rebounds in his career. And you ready for this? Lenny had 25 in one game. That's unbelievable.
The days when only the conference champion went to the NCAA tournament.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. If we put out a team at ESPN with our analysts, I'd be the coach. I'd put Kellogg in one corner, Elmore in the other, and nobody will get a rebound against us.
Maryland by 1, 15:54 left. Maryland by 1, 15:54 to go from Cameron Indoor Stadium. Championship week tips off Saturday at noon. We'll have the Big South Championship for you, followed by the Ohio Valley Championship at 2. Then at 4, the Trans-America Athletic Championship. Then Saturday night, we're not done. Number 13, Iowa State against Oklahoma State at 7:30. Need more, 9:30. Number 11, New Mexico. Number 4, Utah. Championship week on ESPN.
There's a look at Trajan Langdon, really struggling in the last 2 games. 3 for 14. He was 3 for 13 from three-point land against UCLA. As you'll see his numbers today, only 1 field goal. He's just such a great shooter. He's going through one of those little slumps.
Chappelle wide open, drills the 3. Mike Chappelle, a 35% long-range shooter. You can't leave anybody that good that wide open.
Well, he can make you open 3. Played really well earlier this year. You know, Langdon started his season this year after coming back with a knee injury. 6 out of 7 from three-point range in a blowout over St. Joseph's. And when you talk about National Coach of the Year, a guy that might get some votes, Phil Martelli, they've been a real surprise.
Backdoor cut to Stokes, could just make the catch. Knocked out of bounds by McLeod, had a wide open chance at a shot, but the pass wasn't that good.
St. Joseph's really been, I think, the surprise team in America. They started off right here against Duke, and Duke blew them out. Duke's got some good wins out of conference. Beat Tulsa.
They always play one of the toughest schedules you can imagine. Profit with a miss. Nice rebound by Elliott. He missed. Booth, good rebound. And the bucket.
I'll tell you, Maryland is really right now out hustling Duke on the glass. Somebody's got to block it out. Gary's got to really be proud of their effort. They are scrapping on the glass.
McLeod, nice move, but the shot wouldn't fall. He gets the rebound, puts it up, fouled by Elliott.
Sean McLeod had a big game in game 1 against Maryland. 22 points, 11 rebounds. Played at that famed St. Anthony's High School, where they got a brilliant scholastic star this year, and Anthony Perry committed to Georgetown.
You know, Dick, without a Kesey in there, without that beef in the middle, Maryland is really in tough shape on the glass.
Well, really, but they're really hustling so much,
They are.
Mike, and they're making up for his loss. As Obina keeps looking at the clock. See, players that get in foul trouble, they keep watching that clock, and they keep saying to themselves, as the minutes go down, I need some playing time. I need some playing time. I got to get back out there.
1 out of 2 from the line tonight from McLeod. He has 5 points, but look at the disparity overall. 15 out of 20 for the Terps, only 6 of 11 for the Blue Devils.
Shooting pretty good on that free throw line right now when you talk about the Terps. Duke not getting enough inside. That's why they're not going to the free throw line, and they're also not dribbling and penetrating a great deal.
Duke by 1. Profit can't get inside. Booth left alone, didn't want the 3. Takes the drive instead, kicks it off. Elliott, a 10-footer that went 12.
Yeah, Rodney Elliott, I think he had a little slip there. Could have been from the perspiration. The crowd starting to chant air ball. Ricky Price has got to get active. He's got to make things happen right now.
Here's a hold on Kovarik as Price was trying to do just that.
Rose with the call.
That's 2 on Kovarik. That's the 4th team foul against Maryland. Duke has committed 3 here in the second half. Newton comes outside to help on the inbounds play.
Trying to set a back screen right there for Price. They missed him. Newton now posted inside. Look at him wheeling in the lane.
Newton against Elliott. Missed the shot. Elliott with a rebound.
Great effort, except he just didn't finalize and convert. But he made a super effort. Can't fall fat.
Stokes, nice job to get it to Booth. He laid it on the rim. Couldn't make the bucket. Duke controls the boards.
They got Price on a wing. They miss him again. Wide open, reversing the ball.
Chappelle slashes down the lane. Tried to scoop it up and missed.
Chappelle from out of Southfield, Michigan. Very athletic, very quick. Trying to get Booth on the inside.
They got him against Newton. He went right around him, and he'll draw the foul, I believe, from McLeod.
Can't hit.
No, it's Newton.
Can't handle him inside, Mike. It's like a mismatch. Once he posts inside, he's so strong and so active down in the box. I think it was a good move, taking Langdon out for a minute or two, now bring him back on. Now watch Booth post it inside. Once you allow him to get the ball on the interior, he's so effective. There he is working on a baseline, seals off the defense really well, uses that power move.
4 on Newton. He'll have to sit down. Booth has 13 points after a slow start. He's hit 3 out of 4 from the line.
What a great high school. You talk about Baltimore Dunbar. When you think about the who's who that they have produced, one of my favorite college players of all time, Muggsy Bogues. You gotta love the little guy. Watching him star. He's like a giant with a rock in his hands, playing at the NBA level for Charlotte.
Booth hits the first. We're tied at 45.
I tell you, Mike, what they've done also, Maryland, their effort tonight, they got this crowd really quiet. This crowd is not as alive as we look at foul trouble right here. McKeesey with 4, Carwell with 4, and Newton with 4 for Duke. Guys in big-time trouble. But this crowd, maybe it's me feeling it. I don't know about you. Do you feel it's not as electrical as it normally is?
Maybe not quite. I think it's because of all the turnovers.
Could be the turnovers. It could be the fact that Duke has not put together a spurt.
And missing a lot of those 3-point shots.
Because this is certainly one of the great environments in college basketball.
Maryland back on top by 1. Capel against the press, quickly to Price. Pull up 3. Didn't get it. Good rebounding job tonight by Elliott. He's been tough inside.
He's been very active. There's a nice little pass, bounce pass. You got to step and catch that basketball. Step to the ball.
Booth loses it, so Langdon comes back the other way. Maryland by a point. Capel.
Nice pass.
Chappelle.
I'll tell you, Capel's the one guy that has stepped up, is really playing well tonight. Not only scoring, but making the good pass. And his mom and dad certainly got to be proud.
Chappelle has 5. Capel got the assist on that one. Duke back on top by 1.
Oh, nice look.
Pass there. Booth puts it down.
Great high-low entry right there. Elliott with the tremendous look into Keith Booth. High-low entry.
That is just awareness, knowing where your teammates are before the ball comes to you.
Nobody rotates or runs the high-low better than Wake Forest. Davey Odom does a great job.
McLeod gets the roll. A seesaw game. Duke back on top by a single point.
Remember, you're Duke right now. You don't want to head down to Chapel Hill, 8 miles down the road, with 2 games in a row in the Yale College. Losing to UCLA, this game becomes big.
Booth had a little trouble handling it. Kicks it back to Kovarik. Jasikevic is inside the line, misses the jump shot. Long rebound off of the Blue Devils out to Maryland.
Wake Forest, you know, many people probably saying we didn't talk about Davey Odom coach of the year. I think whenever the expectations are so great for a team, those coaches don't get the kind of recognition as those that are not projected to be very high. I was looking it up. Duke was projected to be 4th in the conference this year. And yet they were projected top 10 in America. Does that show you a little bit about the conference?
Tells you something about the ACC. Watkins lost it. Trajan Langdon for 3, and he just can't buy one the last couple of games.
I think psychologically it's got to start to affect him. Look at this.
Jasikevich's great pass to Elliott.
And it affected him right there. There was no rotation defensively. Nobody rotated back. I think there's a little example of you're really a little bit down shooting the basketball. Gary's got to be so happy with the effort tonight defensively of his kids.
Maryland really hanging in there and pushing the ball up court at every single opportunity. Even if they have to make a dangerous pass, they're making it, trying to get the advantage. And again, that time it worked. And Mike Krzyzewski got to be a little unhappy that his kids haven't gotten back on defense.
Yeah, they didn't rotate. And that's usually an automatic here at Duke, where they rotate and get good defensive balance. Nobody rotated back. They get the layup.
There was another situation where Jasikevic knew where his teammate was even before he got the ball.
You know, Mike, in the press room today, everybody was talking basically about North Carolina, the resurgence, and how they were so impressed with the play of Ed Cota. And they're also talking about how they're shocked to see Michigan lose like 4 in a row and be struggling for an NCAA berth when you look at their talent level.
Capel slashes down the lane. He'll draw the foul from Elliott. That will be 2 on the junior from Baltimore.
Capel really trying to attack the basket. Talking about Michigan, what could save them certainly is their wins. Right here, they beat Duke at Duke, and certainly the win they had over Arizona.
Mike Krzyzewski going for his 399th win at Duke tonight. Wojo checks back in the line. Capel going to the free throw line for the first time. He has 13 points tonight.
Mike trying to win his 4th ACC regular season title. He won 3 tournament championships. Speaking of tournament championships, that big ACC, which I think is the best tournament of them all because of the kind of environment, the spirit, the enthusiasm, and when you think about the tradition of that tournament, hey, I'll tell you one thing, Davey Odom's trying to do something that's special, going for 3 consecutive ACC tournament championships.
Duke has regained the lead, 11:47 to go.
MCI takes us to Tucson, where the Wildcats are taking on Washington State, and it's a battle in the early going here. Mike Bibby will collect the rebound. Cats are running. Michael Dickerson with the finish, but Arizona not pulling away. Well, it's a 10-point lead. It's been close until this point.
Duke by 1 in a battle that's gone back and forth with 11:47 to go in the game, Dick.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing, Mike. I know watching the game right now is Jimmy Melton, a real diehard Duke fan. He's getting married at the Duke Chapel here this weekend. We want to wish the best to his mom, Rachel, from Danville, Virginia, who's very ill right now. We certainly send our best. Wish her a speedy recovery.
She has a wedding coming up, and the family really hopes she enjoys that. Push-off foul on Kabarek. That is his 3rd. And guess who? Wojciechowski, the kind of a guy who encourages that kind of foul because he drives you nuts.
Yeah, he really is a frustrating kind of player. I wouldn't want him in my face all day long defensively. He's annoyed. He's like a little pest out there.
Maryland has committed 23 turnovers. That matches a season high. There's the 4th on Kabarek. A little touch foul as he banged into Wojciechowski.
What Maryland's done an outstanding job tonight in doing, they have really kept Duke away from making the 3, but also from a spurt. They haven't allowed him to get a spurt.
That's the 7th team foul against Maryland, so we're in the bonus. Duke has committed only 4, and Wojo will go to the line where he's a very good free throw shooter, 77%. 3 out of 4 tonight, 5 points, an excellent floor game again.
Well, we had Duke in that game against Wake Forest and against North Carolina. When they stopped that winning streak, North Carolina had won 7 in a row over the Dukies. It was the 3-point shooting. Trajan was 7 for 12 against North Carolina. And then they put a brilliant show shooting the basketball against Wake Forest. Tonight, they're not shooting as well. And I'll tell you what, that's a credit to that defensive effort by Maryland.
Price nearly beheaded Capel getting the offensive rebound, but it's Duke's ball.
Don't want to behead anybody. Don't want to do that now.
No, don't try that at home.
Don't try that. Price and Profit, good matchup, a lot of quickness right here. Good help. See that help by Stokes? What a tremendous job he did. The coaches love little plays like that. See, he stops the driving angle, then he recovers. Help recover.
Wojo got caught up.
Good job rotating over by Elliott.
Langdon had it blocked by Yasikavicius. Great defense by Maryland the entire possession.
Yeah, really tremendous help and recover defense. It's where you help your teammate out, you recover. You play defense as a team, as a unit.
Profit had Watkins wide open, didn't want to give him the ball inside, and he's got Capel on him, a big mismatch.
Watkins a transfer from out of Notre Dame.
Now McLeod's back on him, and McLeod will commit the foul, or was it Price?
I think it was Price there with the ball and the foul.
Price gets his 2nd.
Look at Gary working the officials here. Look at Gary. Look at all these. Look at the intensity. Look at the perspiration. Wow, does he need a shower after this game, baby? He says, yeah, look, I agree with you. I agree with you, Zelton. Don't worry about a thing. I agree with you. Zelton Steed, one of Fred Barricat's striped shirts.
Watkins at the free throw line, a sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee, played a year at Notre Dame, transferred, sat out last year.
Oh, he off the glass backboard. Wow. Hey, John McLeod didn't teach him to shoot like that. You talk about a guy doing a heck of a job. Nobody gave them a shot this year. Notre Dame, they've had some big wins over Syracuse, Providence, Miami. He's done one heck of a job, John McLeod. He's a great guy. As honest as they come. If you're a father, you wouldn't mind your son playing for John McLeod. I can guarantee you that.
Watkins shows you 2 different ways to make free throws. We're tied at 52.
But I'm a little prejudiced. He's got a great assistant in Terry Tyler, who may be a decent coach. And you need players. And to make me a decent coach, you better have some talent.
Capel pushing it up.
Oh, there's wide open. He's got to shoot that.
Wojo's been hesitant because he hasn't hit him, but he drained that one.
I had to yell to him down here. You think he heard me, Mike? He's got to shoot the rock. Shoot
Wojciechowski has 9, and that got the crowd up.
Nice entry.
Elliott has had a nice night tonight. Rodney Elliott from the paint. Maryland cuts the lead back to 1. Elliott has 11.
He did a great job shaping up in the 3-second area, posted to the basketball, got open in the lane, wide open.
3.
Here they come. Here come the trifectors, baby.
Bunch of streak shooters. They can really light it up. Capel has 18 and they're going crazy in the Devil's Den.
Look at the Devil's Den. Hey, she's having a blast.
58-54. Maryland has to be really calm now. Wojciechowski got away with a push, and then he's called for the foul.
They got him. Good call. Those trifectas can change the complexion of a game quickly. There's Wojciechowski. He lets it fly. Look at the rotation. Look at the good backspin, the good follow-through. They really love it here at Duke, and they love it at the Devil's Den. Look at them. They're a little slow reacting. Oh, yeah, here they go. They said, yeah, we like it.
Tried to get it inside to inside to Kovarik from Jasikevic, is tipped up by Duke. 9:26 to go in the game. Blue Devils up by 4.
Tough pass. He tried to make like John Lucas is one of the greatest point guards ever to play in the ACC for Maryland.
Jasikevic is off the inbounds play. Booth over the back. Foul on Booth. That's 4.
It's 4 on Booth.
Kesey has already been sitting down with 4.
Well, see, what he's going to have to do is yo-yo him now. He's got to keep one of the 2 on the floor. So right now, he might take out Booth for a minute or 2 and put in Kesey and then bring back Keith. Watch the left-hand side of your screen. Watch number 22. There he is with the little shove, the push. Larry Rose right there on the call. And Chappelle says he can't do that to me just because he's all ACC. Number 20, the diaper dandy from out of Southfield, Michigan.
Chappelle will go to the line the first time. 5 points tonight for the freshman. Make it 6, and the lead has grown to 5.
Got those long, long arms. With freshmen, you don't really know in terms of consistency. This is one year there haven't been a lot of great freshmen in terms of really doing it big-time style right out of the gate.
The lead grows to a half dozen with 9:23 to go. Kesey is back in the game with his 4 fouls. With Booth out, it takes away a lot of their firepower.
Right now, the crowd getting them a little pumped up defensively. Trying to
Stokes with a good save.
They're really getting down now defensively, trying to beat their man to the basketball. 3 principles to their defense. Pressure the ball, deny the ball, and beat the cutter to the ball. There's an example. Beat the cutter to the ball.
Carrawell knocked it away, and there's 14 seconds on the shot clock.
That's one of the principles they teach.
Stokes, the deep inbound to Kovarik. Jasikevic just doesn't look for his shot very much. Shot clock at 9. Kovarik trying to take Capel. Tough scoop shot won't go. Blue Devils ball.
Danger time right now. Gary can't wait too long before Keith Booth gets back on that floor. This is trouble if it goes down. Chappelle! Get it to you, baby, Gary. Get it to you. The camera traces and go bananas. The Devil's Den loves it. Oh, they love it. Timeout, baby.
It's the biggest lead of the game. Duke by 9 at 63-54.
There's the kick out, and Duke has been outstanding all year, shooting the trifecta. Mike Chappelle knocks it down, and the Devil's Den is having a blast. They love it, and they love it here at the Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Duke now has its biggest lead of the game, 63-54, 8:37 left to go. Hoops action Sunday on ABC, tips off at 3:45. Regional coverage of number 1 Duke at number 8 North Carolina, number 1 Kansas, or number 7 Duke at 8th ranked Carolina, number 1 Kansas at Nebraska, and Washington against number 15 Arizona. Check your local listing for the ABC sports game in your area. Brent and Dick, of course, will be at Chapel Hill. Here's the 3-point shooting story. Duke, after a horrid 1 for 7, 4 for 10 in the second half.
Really come on strong. 40% from 3-point range. Nice drive.
Jasikevicius and McLeod, or someone else got a piece of him on the way in, and it is McLeod. That's his third.
Jasikevicius with a strong drive to the goal, trying to add a little versatility to his game. Everybody knows he's a standstill, long-range jump shooter. Hey, you mentioned that game, North Carolina-Duke. Brent and I are certainly excited about that. But we have a big game Saturday on ABC at 2 o'clock. Massachusetts and Temple. And Mass has lost their last 2 games, Mike, and have put themselves in a danger position where Temple and John Chaney, I think they're in the tournament. They deserve to be in. They beat Cincinnati. They beat Louisville. And they've got 17 wins against a dynamite schedule.
That ball appeared to be knocked out of bounds by Duke, but the Blue Devils are going to get the ball as Jasikevicius missed the second shot.
Yes, Gary, he saw UMass, and the UMass guards are playing well. Padilla, Travieso, and Charlton Clark, they can beat anybody. I think you're going to get 5 teams out of the Atlantic 10. I think that conference is so tough, and Mass has played such a dynamite schedule all year as well.
The lead is 8. Time becoming a factor, 8:18 to go.
And now they need a defensive stop. They can't allow Duke to spread in the court. I think they're looking for that 3.
McLeod double team, tries to bounce pass across the lane, and it's out of bounds.
You know, Mike in practice stressed this week after the UCLA game the psychology of playing. He said we were relying so much on Trajan Langdon's jump shot, he said, against UCLA, that we really didn't get as excited as we should. And tonight he's showing that more people are involved and they're not really falling to the wayside because Trajan's having a bad night.
Here's the key stat of the night. That was the first turnover that Duke committed. Booth with an air ball, but Maryland gets it back. Shot clock does not reset.
Wow. Did I hear you right?
I hope so.
Wow. I can't believe first turnover?
Profit with a 3 in the second half.
Yeah, second half. I know that.
Maybe you didn't hear me right.
No, I know what you meant.
63-58.
That's amazing, too.
It is.
The kind of pressure that they're facing here. I didn't realize that. Good call, Mike.
Carrawell gives it up to Wojo. 7:18 and counting.
There's that ball movement. Screening away from the basketball.
Booth and Akizi are both in there for the Terps. Gary Williams playing them with 4 fouls. He has little choice.
See, Duke very athletic, but certainly not a big team.
Wojciechowski had it blocked. Shot clock is running.
Nice pass.
Capel got a piece of it, but Maryland will control, and the Terps will push it.
Capel does a great job with dribble penetration and making the pass off the dribble.
Booth had Akizi wide open, didn't see him.
McLeod's become such a solid player. He's their one big guy on the inside now at 6'8", who's also capable of shooting the 3. As you look at Mike and he had his brain trust there, there's no doubt that guys like, when you talk Quinn Snyder and Tommy Amico, ultimately are going to be head coaches. O'Toole, another young guy they have on their staff, does a solid job.
What a place to learn, right?
Wow, yeah, no doubt about it, Mike. I wish in my coaching career that I could have been able to learn and work under some of the giants of the game, like Dean Smith, Bobby Knight, or Mike, and people like that. I mean, it's amazing when you get that opportunity like a Snyder and Amica. It's just such a plus in your career and your resume. Tommy Amica, gonna be a star. The guy that gives him an opportunity, and it has to be the right place. He's turned down a lot of jobs, but he's looking for a place where he has a passion and a love for the school like he has here for Duke.
Duke has the lead with 6:38 to go in the game. It's a 5-point margin. Blue Devils, we remind you, would clinch at least a share of first place in the ACC during the regular season.
I know you think the world of Tommy Amica. Brent Musburger, he went on and on with me the other day saying how much he loved him and how he would hire him immediately if he ever had a situation where he was an athletic director.
Such a smart guy who had such a great career as a player. Trajan Langdon.
Oh, nice.
McLeod with a follow.
McLeod on the offensive glass.
McLeod has 10.
Nobody blocked out. And remember, if Duke wins this game, they clinch a share of the ACC title in a year when this conference is absolutely dynamite. Hey, Keith Booth's not making it easy for him, though. I can tell
Just
you
like
that.
everybody hesitated when Booth had the ball down there, and he just kept going to put it in.
Everybody was becoming a Kodak man. They were taking pictures. They were snapping.
Booth has 19 tonight, has averaged 19.5, then Duke turns it over.
There's Booth right now, a little one-on-one maneuver. Around his back. It's not for pizzazz. That's to show that he's going to get an opportunity to go the other way, change direction.
Keith Booth now has 21, and look at this. It's back to 3.
I'll tell you, what a phenomenal year he has had in the ACC.
Price for 3. That's a killer.
That little curl move, Ricky Price with that little curl move.
Ricky Price with his first 3-point shot of the night. The lead goes back to 6. Those are backbreakers.
Do you think possibly that Dean Smith tomorrow, Phil Cutledge and Phil Ford will have them and be working about the perimeter game to shut down their 3-point shot?
Booth tried a 3. He struggled so much.
Just a matter of time. All blank shooters, just a matter of time, David. Trajan Langdon, the Alaskan assassin.
Langdon has half a dozen. It's back to 9. So as soon as Maryland got it to within 3, Price buries a 3-pointer. Then Langdon does the same thing. In between, Keith Booth, who is 1 for 17 from 3-point range, instead of going back inside where he's been so successful, tries a 3, and it's an air ball.
Yeah, not a good decision. If you look at here at Duke, the storyline, Maryland on a free throw line, very effective. Booth with a great game with 21 points. I think Capel has been outstanding here tonight. Not only with his 18 points, but his penetration and his passing ability today. He's been really sensational.
And he's got that confident attitude back, too.
Well, he knows he's getting his playing time. He knows he's right there, a key player. He feels good about himself. Didn't sulk and pout when things didn't go well early. Remember, in life, things don't always go our way. You've got to be able to regroup when you face a tough time.
Crunch time for Maryland here, and Langdon commits the reach-in foul as Booth was slashing across the lane. That's only 1 on Trajan Langdon.
His first personal foul, 8 on the team.
Look at the intensity of Mike Krzyzewski. Doesn't look too relaxing with the timeout scenario. Duke with 2, Maryland with 1. When I think of Booth and rebounding, I was thinking about Elmore. I was thinking about our analysts. I said we could have a great combination rebounding. Clark Kellogg was a tremendous offensive rebounder. Lenny Elmore, what a backcourt I can have. Larry Conley, Kentucky fame. Billy Raftery was a big-time scorer down there at LaSalle. And then I have my guy Digger coming off the bench, but I need one other big player. We got to get Kareem back working with us. I'll put him in the middle. Kareem, Elmore, and Mr. Kellogg, Conley, and Raftery. What a team on that.
Jay Billis.
Wow.
Booth hits 6 out of 7 from the line.
Make a trade. Trade me to
22
CBS.
points.
Trade me for Packer. You have a great guard.
Booth missed the second one. Profit had the rebound. Then Booth gets it, and he's fouled. Or are they going to call it on Booth?
I think they're going to get on Booth. I think they're going to get on Booth.
They're saying he grabbed a jersey first, but he got submarined after that. We'll have to take a look.
We're way up high here, and we are sweating like you can't believe. Now, there's the hustle, the scrap. We're going to make the old John Madden team. He's diving for the ball.
I sure didn't see where Booth committed a foul, but they got him for his 5th.
Yeah, in that situation, looking at the replay, you don't see any reason for a call right there.
Unless it was before we picked it up. Booth will go out with 22 points, 5 rebounds in his final appearance at Cameron Indoor.
Dean Smith paid him a great compliment. They honored his jersey in his last game at Maryland. And after the game, because it was won by North Carolina, Dean supposedly utilized the quote and said, "Hey, Keith, don't feel bad. We also were fortunate enough down here in North Carolina to beat Duke at Duke and Grant Hill's final swan song. And look how great Grant has done in his career."
Not been a good shooting night for Trajan Langdon, but he knocks this one down, and the lead is back to 9. Langdon with only 7 points, 2 out of 3 from the stripe.
He's usually automatic on our free throw line, a 90% free throw shooter.
He's hit 3 out of 4 tonight. The lead is now 10, and the Terps need points, and they need them in a hurry.
It's trouble time, especially now to find points. It's very difficult. Profit's going to have to step up.
Jesse Cav is just their best outside shooter. Here's Elliott. Profit trying to keep it alive, and does. Then lost it up against Langdon. And he stepped out of bounds, and it's out to the Blue Devils.
Really a tough time right now for Gary having on the sideline. Booth with 5 fouls. Down 10, away from home. You have a great effort.
The problem he has when Akizi and Booth get in foul trouble, as they frequently do, is there's not anybody that even approaches their roles that he can bring off the bench.
Exactly. And as he said today, it's not going to get easy for us. We're going down to Virginia, and they're really faced with their backs against the wall for a win. So you know how big-time motivated they're going to be. Look at that reversal.
Great ball. Price with a miss got his own rebound. Kesey didn't block out. And Price double dribble.
Motivation is so important. When you play with emotion and feeling, you always have a chance to elevate your game.
Still plenty of time to go. 4:12.
That's a Wojciechowski. He elevates his game because he plays so hard and with a passion.
Jasikevicius, nice drive. He'll get the foul from McLeod. That'll be 4 on Rashawn.
Well, McLeod rotated over to give some help to take away the layup by Jasikevicius.
On the line.
And this is exactly what Gary Williams is hoping for in a comeback. They score when the clock is stopped.
2 times.
The Lithuanian 1 out of 2 from the line, 6 points tonight.
Well, it's important they make their free throws, especially in the system that Gary utilizes, because they like to rotate up into their traps. Alejandro does a heck of a job on a sideline for Gary. Stepped in last year when Gary was ill.
Missed the second free throw. He was a neighbor of Andrius Jukurnis of Clemson when they lived in Lithuania.
Jukurnis, really, they miss his three-point shot. I think he's something like we said yesterday, 2 for 33. He shot last year 42% and made 52 threes. Rick Barnes, if he had that weapon as part of their arsenal, because they're so good defensively, Clemson would be so much better than what they are in their game.
With the shot clock at 7, Price buries the runner. 75-64, Ricky Price with 6.
Make no doubt about it that Duke's resurgence has been the play of Capel and Price. The 2 experienced players have stepped up here in the second half of the year.
Loose ball, Duke has it. McLeod kicks it out to Price. 3:15 left. The Blue Devils have assumed control.
I'll tell you one thing, it looks like it's setting the tone for North Carolina, who's been unblemished the second half of the year, and Duke, who's been unblemished in the ACC the second half of the year, in that big matchup on ABC on Sunday. I can't wait for that, baby. That's going to be some special environment.
Wojo leaning against Stokes, missed the shot. Kesey, bad pass, and Price picks it off. Kesey trying to lead his teammate and just tossed it too far toward the center of the court. 26 turnovers against Maryland. Very difficult to beat anybody, but anybody like Duke, you can't win with 26 turnovers.
Especially on the road and your star player on the sideline. They're going to some motion now, managing the clock, and take some time off the clock. But they've had a great year this year, Maryland. Nobody anticipated
Yes, they
that.
have.
I don't care about this little slide. When you think of what they've achieved with this young team.
Wojo. I think the best thing Gary Williams did this year was be able to bring these kids together as a team, and the team concept was something he didn't have very much of last year.
Exactly. Little Wojo with that drive, and they got 3 outstanding young players, Gary, and Stokes, Prophet, and Obina Kesey, who's going to be a heck of a player. Wojciechowski with the little drive to the goal. You got to like the little guy.
Senior night at Cameron Indoor. The seniors have contributed, so have the off-campus fans. Back in a moment.
Danny Ferguson, Conference USA's most prolific scorer at 21 points a game, leads the emotional charge of the Cincinnati Bearcats. Tonight, they face off against the great defense of the Marquette Golden Eagles.
Duke now with a 13-point lead. 2:08 to go in the game, and they have effectively clinched at least a share of first place in the ACC regular season. Capel and Wojciechowski, the backcourt, did the job tonight. 29 points, 9 assists between them, and Wojo had 3 steals.
Well, Mike, when you got great backcourt play, you got always a chance to win, and you have a great system, just like they have in Kansas and Kentucky, where Roy Williams and Rick Pitino have a great system. As you look at Stokes with the drive, trying to put some points on the board. A little bit late right now, down 11, going to be tough. I think the bus driver just ran out, is warming up the bus, Mike. I think he's warming up the bus. They got to get ready for Virginia, and Duke's got to get ready for North Carolina. Life in the ACC, one tough battle after another.
The floor they're playing on tonight, by the way, is going to be taken up and sold in pieces to the general public.
Well, I want to get a piece. How do I get a piece, Mike? Help me out.
Well, just
Come on.
contact Duke University, Dick.
Is there a number I gotta call?
You can reach them on the World Wide Web, even.
Wow.
www.goduke.com.
Go Trajan right there with a little hanger and drive.
79-66. Langdon has 10. This means Maryland will fall to 20-8, 9-6 in the ACC with a game to go at Virginia this weekend. Stokes again blocked by McLeod.
Yeah, Stokes trying to pick it up offensively. This Duke team has really played with a lot of passion and feeling all year long. The standards of Duke are back again, and they're just going to keep getting better. Hey, Newton really, I thought he performed well when he was on the floor early.
And Dick, this would set up, I believe, a first-round ACC matchup between 4 and 5. Right now, it would be Maryland against Clemson. That's a heck of a way to start with a 4 and 5 game.
That's a heck of a battle, no doubt about it. You know what I want to say, Mike? All year long, they have treated us really great as we look here at Newton. And there's his mom, senior night, bringing them back to the floor. And all the SIDs, I'm telling you, they've been phenomenal. Today over here, Mike Craig and Chuck Walsh. Yesterday, Timmy Beret and company. I mean, there's some great SIDs throughout America that supply us the info to help us get our job done.
Guys really work hard.
Oh, they really work hard. Put a lot of hours, don't get a lot of acclaim.
Elliott cuts the lead to 12, but only a minute 3 to go for the Terps.
Yeah, you chant Carmen Wallace. I love that chant.
Newton with another rebound. Now we're
Yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. They got him in. Carmen Wallace.
They reminded Mike Krzyzewski, he's got that senior down there. You want to get him in the ball game. And here's the foul. Oh, offensive foul called on Capel.
That's about the only mistake he's made all night
Isn't
long.
it?
He's played so well. I can't wait to see his brother Jason play. That's
There's
Carmen
Wallace.
Take a look at this, 12 and 3. All they have to do, they don't have to worry about Wake Forest for their trip to Florida State. They just got to beat North Carolina, that's all. They just got to beat North Carolina. I mean, that's Cupcake City. That should be hard. I mean, if they can't beat North Carolina on the road, they don't deserve to win the ACC, Mike. Hey, I'm only kidding. Please don't write me letters. Please, I'm only kidding.
Newton with excellent interior defense.
They're going to have to earn it down here because those kids at Chapel Hill, Carter and company and Coda and Jameson and Swicka, they're waiting for the Dukies to come to town after getting beat here. Let's look at the family now, the Capel family.
Mike Krzyzewski, number 2 all-time in terms of Atlantic Coast Conference wins. This is his 143rd. And here at Duke in his 17th year, his 399th win, he could get number 400 this Sunday against North Carolina. And as a Duke coach, if you don't think getting number 400 against North Carolina would be sweet, you don't understand.
I tell you, he's sandwiched right there by 2 great ones, 2 Hall of Famers, and Frank McGuire and Dean Smith. Look at the hugs. Cameron Crazy loves our seniors. There's the mom, Mrs. Newton.
I tell you, he really helped his cause tonight for more playing time, and he helped this team's chances to go much further in the NCAA tournament.
And there's a hug right there. Coach K has such admiration and respect for the way Capel came back after having such a struggle earlier this year.
Very emotional coach, and his kids reflected on the floor. Stokes will try a 3. Kept alive by Kesey, and there is the follow by Elliott.
Elliott's been a heck of a player all year for Maryland off the bench.
Wojciechowski trying to dribble out of trouble as it kicked out of bounds with 8 seconds left. Is it going to be tough, Dick, for Maryland to regroup this down period they've hit?
They need a win in terms of just psychologically. They've lost now, I believe it's 6 of their last 9 games. Clemson's going through one of those struggles as well right now, but they started off so well. And here comes the crowd, a little celebration time for Senior Day and clinching an ACC regular season title. There's Gary shaking the hand of Michael Kay.
Final score, Duke 81, Maryland 69. You're watching ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Dick Vitale and our entire crew,